Okay, now we will discuss about the constructor and its types. So basically here is the outline. First we will discuss that why constructor is useful, what is the objective and purpose of the constructor. Second, rules for the constructor, and third, types of constructor. So basically the constructor is used to initialize the object. We can directly assign the value in the variable, but for initializing the object we require the constructor. Now, second, what are the rules for defining the constructor? First rule, constructor name must be same as the class name. यानी आप जो class name दे रहे हो वही same name आपके constructor का रहेगा. Second, constructor does not contain any kind of the return type, not even void. जैसे हम method या function के आगे कैसे data type लगाते हैं, वैसे constructor के आगे कोई भी data type हम नहीं लगाएंगे. We cannot use the abstract, final or static keyword with the constructor. We will discuss this three keyword in later on part, but remember it. Constructor के साथ हम abstract, final और static keyword use नहीं कर सकते. Next, when object is created, constructor is automatically called. Now we will discuss of the types of the constructor. Basically, there are the three types. First is the default constructor. Default constructor do not contain any kind of the argument or parameter. Also, it is called the non-parameterized or non-argument constructor. Second is the parameterized constructor. It contains the argument, but in terms of variable, it is also called as an argument constructor. For calling this constructor, we need to pass the parameter while object is created. Third is the copy constructor. Copy is also the one type of the parameterized constructor, but inside that we are passing the object, not the variable. It is also called as a reference constructor. For calling this constructor, we need to pass the object of the class while creating the we need to pass the object of the class while creating the object. Now we will understand the whole program, whole three type of constructor with the help of the program. So here I am just use the Eclipse IDE and create one class. The class name is constructor demo. I require the public static void main method. So I'm just click on the finish, and you can see here constructor demo class is created with the public static void main. First, we will discuss about the default constructor. So as we have discussed that any type of the constructor name is same as the class name. So I'm just copying my class name. And because it is a default constructor, it do not contain any type of the argument inside this two brackets. So I'm just printing the message system.out.println because it is a default constructor. So I am writing the message default constructor call. This is my default constructor. Now we will talk about the parameterized constructor. So here I am taking the class name as a constructor name. As you know that here do not contain any kind of the return type. Here I am passing the two parameter integer a comma integer b. Here I am globally declare that integer a integer b. Now we will use this keyword for specifying the current value. This dot a is equal to a. This dot b is equal to b, and print the sum of a and b. A plus, we need to print the message, so we have written in a double inverted quotation along with concatenation operator. Now this is our parameterized constructor. Now I am taking the copy constructor. For the same, I required the constructor demo class, and here I am passing the object of constructor demo class, that is the CD1. Here I am writing that this dot A is equal to CD1 dot A. This dot B is equal to CD1 dot B, and it will return the subtraction of A and B. We are taking the subtraction, so you will get the easily idea about the copy constructor. System dot out dot println, and I am just changing here. I am writing the subtraction over here. Now this all constructor should be outside the main function. You can see here all the constructors should be outside the main function. Now we are taking the public static void main over here, public static void main over here, string args, as we have already here, so I'm just removing it. Now first we need to create the object. So here I am just placing the class name. CD is my object name. Okay. Here we have not passed any argument inside the bracket. So this is automatically called your default constructor. And finally, it is printing the default constructor is called. We can check in the output what exactly it displays. You can see inside that default constructor is automatically called. Now, again I am taking the class name. I am creating the object name. CD3 is equal to new constructor demo and passing the two values 2, 5. Now here it contained the two values, so it is called your parameterized constructor. A value is 2 and B value is 5, and finally it is returning the sum. So just you can see here 5 plus 2 is a 7. So it is your parameterized constructor. You can pass the variable as a parameter. Now I am taking and I am passing the object inside the bracket. I am passing the object of CD3 which is already created. Now this CD3 is received inside the CD1, and CD3 A and B value are 2 and 5 respectively. So it is copy inside that. And finally subtraction is print -3. This is whole program about the constructor and its types. Again, I am repeating, when you are not passing any parameter, default constructor is invoked. When you have passed the value, that value is received by the variable, then parameterized constructor is called when you are passing the object and that object is considered as a reference to copy the value inside the copy constructor. That's why the copy constructor is considered as a reference constructor. I hope output is clear to each and everyone. Thank you so much.